And this is Sean's View Entertainment on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. Back by popular demand, the WWE Raw review. Now, this is an addition to the live coverage of Monday Night Raw that I provided. Go check out the videos before this video where I ran down my own commentary of the events, the matches, the promos that took place on Raw tonight, featuring the likes of Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, the backstage shenanigans, Rusev and Ziggler, John Cena, Cesaro, all those things. But we're going to do a full show review right now. Show kicked off, and I'll tell you what, I just want to get this off the bat right now. This show, you know, we come on here and we critique Raw, we bash Raw, we talk down Raw, but there wasn't a hell of a lot of negative things. You know, I took a lot from this Raw, you know, as it concerns momentum, as it concerns the build, as it concerns the storylines, as it concerns the integrity of pay-per-views. This Monday Night Raw, you know, came through. Whether it was Rusev attacking Dolph Ziggler and fooling everybody, making everyone think that he was going to be injured for, you know, weeks on end, and who knew when Rusev was going to be able to repair himself. But he took out Dolph Ziggler tonight, and I'll tell you what, that was a hell of a segment because we did not expect Rusev to be recuperated by this time. So you got Rusev and Summer Rae. Brock Lesnar absolutely annihilates the J&J Securities Cadillac. That car got destroyed, and I think a fan was actually injured when Brock Lesnar threw the door. I don't think Lesnar even knows his own strength. I don't think Brock Lesnar realizes just how strong and massive he really is, and we all knew that that was going to happen, but the brutality and the domination that Brock Lesnar provided to that car, and Rollins just stood in the ring. He couldn't do nothing about it. Brock Lesnar was a damn beast. He was an animal on that car tonight. And I wouldn't want to be J&J Security. I certainly wouldn't want to be Seth Rollins going into Battleground and what will be perhaps one of the most annihilating matches of Seth Rollins' career. And Seth Rollins' days as WWE World Champion are numbered. And speaking about numbered and your days as champion being numbered, what about John Cena versus Cesaro? These two gave you absolutely everything they had and more, left you on the edge of your seat. It was amazement, it was in awe, it was exciting, it was entertaining, it was everything. It was a 5-star classic. It was one of the most memorable United States and Championship encounters we have ever seen out of this U.S. Open. John Cena always brings his A-game. Cesaro matched Cena tit for tat, bell to bell. Cesaro stood with John Cena. Cena got lucky tonight. That's the bottom line. As good as Cena is and as strong as Cesaro is and how ferocious these two competitors can be and as competitive as they are, Cesaro could have beat Cena tonight. Cesaro had Cena on the ropes and John Cena was tested like never before. And then Kevin Owens came down. He tried to ruin the spotlight, hog the spotlight. He tried to ruin the win of John Cena, but Cena would answer it with an AA on Kevin Owens. It's about time that John Cena can get one up on Kevin Owens, because for the last several weeks, Kevin Owens has been coming in, blindsiding Cena, attacking Cena from behind, hitting the pop-up powerbomb on John Cena. I mean, there comes a time when John Cena has to get a little bit, a head up in the competition, and that's exactly what he did tonight. So you can say that Cena buried Cesaro. Cesaro didn't, you can say a variety of different things in response to this match, but the one thing you better say at the end, it was a hell of a great match. It was a clash of champions is what it was. And we saw Paige try to battle the odds again, and it just was not in her favor. It was not in the cards for Paige to beat Brie Bella tonight. She held her own for a while, but in the end, with Alicia Fox and Nikki Bella, once again, Paige just could not get out of the blocks. What else happened on the show? And like I said, there was a lot of things you can take away. You've seen great tag team action. The New Day versus the Lucha Dragons. That was a pretty damn good match in my opinion. Better than decent in my estimation. This Monday Night Raw, though, I mean, it wasn't one of those Raws that kept dragging and going on and on. It seemed like it would never end. And hey, I'm wearing a CM Punk shirt in support of Chicago because Raw played host to Chicago Allstate Arena tonight. Every time Raw's in the Allstate Arena, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be solid. It's going to be phenomenal. And that was no different here from what Raw provided. And you want to talk about Raw being 3 hours. They went well over the 3-hour limit, okay? They went well over the 3 hours. And I'm sure WWE had to buy extra TV time to showcase Cesaro versus John Cena. But it was worth every dollar that they had to reinvest into going over the time. And as I'm just going through here, because like I said, I know Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. Bray Wyatt continuing to play mind games. Hold on one second here. And you know, this whole thing with Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, you know, it's kind of gaining momentum, but I think it has to keep going on after. It has to go on after Battleground to really intensify this. And it's okay. It's interesting. Bray Wyatt comes out, and it was a Bray Wyatt lookalike. Roman Reigns once again gets thrown off by that. Remember, Bray Wyatt is getting the head of Roman Reigns, obviously, but a pretty good match. Sheamus defeats Roman Reigns by a countout. That's the only thing about tonight. There was a few disqualifications and countouts. You know, I don't really like the whole countout disqualification finish. But you know, going through Monday Night Raw, though, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you know, out of 10 stars, because it is a 3-hour show, I rate it out of 10 stars. I got to give Raw, and this is what I stand by, I got to give Raw a solid 8 out of 10 stars. Just the pure matches, the athleticism, the motivation, the passion that these superstars showed us tonight. And then, you know, Dolph Ziggler gets stretched out of the arena. I don't know if this is a sign of things to come for Dolph Ziggler or not. Hopefully it's not. And that's pretty much it. I like I said, solid 8 out of 10 stars, maybe even 8.5 out of 10 stars. An absolutely brilliant show. The booking was good. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot to complain about. The show was what it was, and if anything, it's a show that you could go back and watch and you wouldn't be bored with. So, kudos to the WWE. Big ups to the WWE. You know, they came through tonight, and hopefully the ratings show that. Your comments, your opinions, and remember how the WWE, the ratings last week were very low, an all-time low, right? Well, you see how WWE positioned Cena in the main event this time? Because now, you know, the ratings are going lower. The WWE had to switch things. The WWE had to go in a different direction. The WWE had to flip-flop a couple matches in predicaments, and you've seen what they did here. So the mid-card main evented Raw tonight is what we witnessed. And Seth Rollins got away again. But how much longer can Seth Rollins get away until Battleground? Your comments, your opinions, subscribe.